Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm going to pass this image around. And this image will give everyone an idea of who we are and how we fit in the universe. I'm going to pass it around. The lowest part here is a girl. And then you'll see other higher selves. You will see the girl here, your higher self there. You'll see these two Christed beings that are assigned to us, and so forth and so on until you get all the way up to the Godhead, who is a sun that shineth forth, and this is your cosmic identity. Now, I have tried to write it out on the back so that anybody wanted to read it, but this will give us an idea of some of the aspects of us. This is a very old image, but this is an Eastern ideal as to who we are and the different aspects of our being. And as you look at this picture, this image, you'll be able to think about the fact that there were times when you might have faced harm or something, or you were going to even fall or get in an accident, and there was something there. That something was a part of your higher self. Also, I'm sharing this because I want everyone to know that you're not here just you yourself. I want everyone to get a visual idea of the energies that are working with you. When you walk, you are not alone. These different beings are surrounding you, but they vibrate on such a high frequency, you can't see them. But all of us in here believe in some being that we cannot see. And their frequency is so high, but you believe deeply in it, deeply in those beings. Be able to at least identify. And the lowest person is a girl, or it could be a boy too, a male. So I just want you to see your higher bodies. A dog can hear frequencies that we humans cannot hear. So there are frequencies surrounding us that we never can tap into because we don't pay attention to them. Now, this can be heard with the natural ear. It's a regular whistle. And you can hear it with your human ear. Listen. You hear? Right. Okay. Then there's the one that is for a dog. I'm going to blow it. You couldn't hear it because you don't have the capability. But a dog could have heard that, and their ears would have perked up because they can hear what you can't hear. Their senses are more pronounced, animals, cats, than ours are. So this, again, is to let you know there's a frequency that we have not tapped into. So I brought these as an example, just to show you that there are all types of possibilities, and there are energies all around us that we ourselves don't pay attention to. The ethers are teeming with energy. When I decide that I'm going to manifest something, I say to myself, I fling this into the ethers, or I fling this into the universe. Therefore, I know that it is going exactly where I directed it. So you can say whatever your belief system is. I send this to universal mind. I send this to God. I send this to Jesus. I send this to Buddha. I send this to percent. Whoever you call your higher self. But remember, today, when you did that particular exercise, that I am a soul, what you did, you activated an aspect of yourself that may not have been activated. It is up to each one of us when you go home to begin to bring it into its full stature. You yourself must do it. No one can do it for you. Just spend a little time looking in the mirror, deep into your own eyes, which are the seat of the soul. and say into that mirror, looking deeply, I am a soul. And if you have a mirror that's large enough, you might even see an energy field that surrounds the human. That your soul's energy might just emanate, and you see what many spiritual people have sight to see. It's an energy field that surrounds us, and that energy field might glow. If you're really paying attention while you look in the mirror, you might be able to see that. All of us carry this energy around us, and when people are spiritual, you can see it. You can see it around these people, and you can see it around yourself. So I just wanted to share that, and hopefully that will give you an idea that you're not here working through life alone. There is some energy surrounding you, working with you as you. Your higher self, when you look at the picture, it depicts, and the information as to who they are is on the back. Your higher self is the person that is right over the girl carrying the roses. That is your higher self. That's the closest that you are physically to a being that is at a frequency that is higher than you. And there is nothing but harmony in these particular planes or dimensions. We have what are called elementals. They operate on a plane, and many cultures believe that the elementals can bring them their desires, and they call upon the elementals. Then you have those cultures that call upon fairies. They're not all jammed together. They're on different planes where it is nothing but harmony. There's no chaos in the universe. So now you got those that call and can depend on fairies to bring them certain things, and they do. Then you have the higher ones. You have your angels. Those angels, people call upon the angels. And then there are those that call upon archangels. And then there are those that call upon another dimension, which are the ascended masters. And then they go up, up, up. There's so many dimensions of beings. And once you settle yourself and become locked into fifth dimensional reality, this fifth dimensional consciousness on this planet, you'll have access to 2 dimensions higher. 2 dimensions. That means if you decide that you want to communicate or call forth those beings in your behalf, they will hear you. Because the veils have really been very thin lately. A lot of people are feeling things that they've never felt before. A lot of people are having a knowing, they're sensing things. That's because the planet has shifted. And now we are closer to the beings of light. So it is imperative that you be very cautious as to what you say, because you will have it. And it will come faster than it did in old third dimension. What you speak and you put feeling with, it's automatic. The manifestation and the creation begins quickly. You know, when God created the earth, words were spoken. Let there be. Often, since I know that I am made in the likeness and image of God, when I have a desire and I visualize, I get my imagination rolling, and I put my intention and I focus and I throw my will behind it, I immediately say, let it manifest, or let it be. I use the same words, and it always comes to pass. Always. I have never had a desire denied. And I'm not saying that from ego. I'm saying that as an example. God is no respecter of person. No respecter. And the very things that God has done for me, they're available to all of us. And more. More. Even Jesus said it, the greatest teacher. He said, the things that I can do, you can do. But if we don't believe we can do any of them, we won't be able to. We are powerless unless we believe and have faith that we have the ability for these things. if you say, well, I'm sick and I'm just going to be sick, or it's God's will, it is not God's will for you to be sick. It's not God's will. And if it is God's will, then those who are sick should never go to the doctor. Because the doctor must be working against God's will. And they should never go see a nurse. Am I right, nurse Lisa? Am I right, nurse Liz? They should never see a nurse, because the nurses are working against God's will. So we are so conflicted inside with all these different thoughts. We ourselves have to check ourselves out and look at our thinking and ask ourselves, where did that thought come from? And when you begin to become inquisitive and you ask those questions, all of a sudden the answers are going to come. They are going to come to you through a source that you can receive it. You're going to get your answers. Why do I think the way I think? Whose thought was that? Where did it come from? Why am I like this when it comes to this? Why am I like this when you have to recreate yourself so that you can become an authentic individual and not be mimicking the things that our ancestors or your parents, what they did? Because generally what they did is outdated, because the average person's values and what they love and believe in is set. It's really set by the time they're 18 to 20 years old. So by the time they have you or gave birth to you, think about 20 years after they were born. That was their social norm, and they instilled those values to you. How many years ago was that, and can you work in this world with those values? Can you operate with them? Can you be effective? What can you do with them? You have to change. Often I go to a family reunion or something, and people are so proud to tell me, girl, I'm the same. I haven't changed. And I feel so sorry for them. I feel sorry that they have not changed. They have fell into a comfort zone. The comfort zone is like a big ship that has an anchor. And that anchor will hold you down. Hold you down in stagnated energy, stagnated waters. Worthless. Life force is gone out of it. We have to always rework our will and rework our goals and find something that will keep us on this planet. As long as you have something to offer, if it's nothing but kind words, I'm going to get up today and I'm going to share kind words. Universal mind, God will keep you here because you're of value. Your life force is working. It's doing something to help society. But if you just say, I'm no good, I have nothing, there's no reason to be here, you're absolutely right. You won't be here long. Because you have nothing to offer. You're here to have experiences. And if you give up on experiences, guess what? It's over for you. That's why I'm inquisitive. I want to see, I want to know, I want to learn something every day of my life. I want to learn something today, and I'm learning something being right here. Because as I speak to you, divine energy is flowing and giving me more information. So I'm learning something. And I'm going to apply that, and I expect to learn something when I get home, and I expect to learn something in my sleep. We dream. That's a part of who we are. And if you dream right, and if you have expanded your consciousness, and you got a connection with the divine mind, you will see and learn in your sleep. Your dream time is not a waste of time. But when you are almost asleep, that's the most potent time. That's why I tell people, do not call me at night to tell me a problem. Do not call me to tell me anything unless it's a life or death matter. Because when I go to sleep, I don't want that percolating in my subconscious all night. Only thing I want percolating in my subconscious is that I am worthy. I am whole. I am perfect. I am strong. I am harmonious. I am healthy. And I am happy. That's what I say before I go to sleep. And I'll say it and say it and say it until I doze off. And then I know that my subconscious is bringing that to pass, working all night. Working all night. Then after I've done it for so long, I already know that's how my life is going to flow.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to flow like that.
Yeah.
So you cannot have people interrupting you while you're in the bed talking about nothing. Because that's what you're going to have percolating in your subconscious, which is your creative force. The most potent aspect of who we are, it is creating while you sleep. You have an atomic nervous system that's working for you right now. You're not thinking about breathing. You're not thinking about, is my heart beating? You're not thinking, is my blood rolling right, circulating? It's doing it for you. That is something greater than you operating in you as you, keeping you alive. That's something. If you befriend it by paying attention to yourself, if you befriend that, you will become a mighty healer of yourself. We have to stop looking outside of ourselves for the power when the power is in us.
Yes.
Can you imagine just the 20 of us sitting here, all the power that's percolating right there? So, can you imagine if we put all this power that we're thinking about right now together, what can be done? I mean, this is who we are. And we are powerful together and we are powerful separately. We are an extension, an individual extension of the Godhead, made in the likeness and the image. And when we drop these bodies, these physical bodies, there's just energy. The soul goes right back to its originator. Right back. So that's some power that God has given us and allowed us to use that we ignore. We have to come to grips with who we are and ourselves. And we cannot fear ourselves and fear our thoughts. You got to get rid of the thoughts that you fear. When those thoughts come, you got to knock them down with something hard, the opposite. When you get ready to say or think, because the thoughts are going to come, you get ready to go move forward and something will say, you can't do that. You say, yes, I can and I will. And now that we are aware and this stuff, information has been poured into your consciousness, all manner of thoughts are going to come up because they've been shook up today. We done put the light on a lot of darkness. And when you pay attention to any aspect of yourself, it's going to do something. Something's going to happen. It's going to move around. And we call these thoughts shadow thoughts. When you're with yourself and you're paying attention to yourself and you're not influenced by the outside distractions, these thoughts are going to come up now because you put the light on them. And you'll see, feel, or hear the thought. The thought will come up, and then when you be trying to pay attention to it, it'll go back down. You, yourself, have to try to get that thought back. Pull it up. It's a negative thought that don't need to be in you. You pull that thought up, and even if you out in the public and that thought shoot up, you say to yourself quietly, you don't have to even move your lips, say, I'm going to address you when I get home. Self-talk is powerful and mighty. And when you get home, remember, and sometimes I've had to write that stuff down so I remember when I get home to deal with that thought. I get home, I deal with that thought. And I put myself in the consciousness and the feeling that it's going to come up. And I'm going to look at it. And I'm going to talk to that thought. And I'm going to say, I'm thankful, but I don't need you no more. I've changed. You got to go, and I bless you into the light. I let you go, and I bless you. So go on to the light. Because it's dead, and it didn't go to the light. So I have to send it to the light. Just like often there are spirits on the planet. They've lost their way. They got confused. Somebody got to tell them to go on to the light. So you got to tell them dead thoughts you don't need anymore. Those old emotions, go on to the light. I'll let you go. Free will, power in your tongue. Power, life, and death. Some things we have to kill ourselves. We have to kill some of these thoughts and bury them in the light. Got to let them go. Old weaknesses. Oh, I can't. Oh, I can't do that anymore ever. Old beliefs that don't work today. You got to let them go. Because they are a hindrance. And they'll hold you down and hold you back. Keep you from growing. Keep you from moving toward the light. It's weight. And it holds you down emotionally. We have to deal with these things. We got to look at them. But we got to get back to our manifestations. Now, as I have said, I myself, when people ask me how I'm doing or they call me, girl, how you feel? I say I'm blessed and grateful. I've said it so much that that sentence has taken a life of its own. How am I doing? Blessed and grateful. Blessed means I'm getting the things that I desire. That means I'm healthy, whole, perfect, and complete. I'm blessed. And I'm grateful. And if I say that several times a day, repetitively, and every day of the year, because I'm going to talk to somebody every day, and I'm going to say it, I'm blessed and grateful. I'm blessed and grateful. It's a habit. And I am blessed and grateful because now blessed and grateful in me has taken a life of its own. And what you say, your words become life. Your words have energy. Remember, emotions, those are the feelings you put behind your words. They are magnetic. And your thoughts are electric. So now when you speak, know my thought is moving out electrically and my feeling is magnetic. So every time you say something, know that you done sent out a power, a life force, an electrical field that's going to bring you something back. We must know that. But prior to our little break that we had, we were talking about belief and faith. Belief and faith is what gives energy and force to your imagination and your vision. Whatever it is. Again, be it good health, finance, whatever it is, whatever your goal is. If you want to have a business, whatever it is you want to do, it does not matter as long as it harms no one. If you want a relationship, you have to be 100% that's what you want. Because even for me, I have said it. Now I had a relationship, but I was tired of it. So I had to cut it loose. But then I've been busy. And then I decided, I said, well, I think it's time for me to have another relationship. And then I was like, no, I ain't got time for that. I'm too busy. You see? Plant the seed, dig it up. Plant the seed, dig it up. And then one day I sat down and I said, let me get my imagination going and let me draw somebody to me. I sat there and the Spirit clearly said to me, you keep digging it up. You don't want it 100%. And you know better. And I said to myself, that's true. The fault is on me. Because I didn't want it 100%. And I still don't. And I know that. Because in the back of my mind, I got things to do. I'm busy. I don't have time to give you attention. And I know this. But if you want something and you know you want it 100%, you can have that thing. Don't dig your seed up. And when you want something, make sure that you made the right decision. Because that thing is going to come to pass. Want it with all you got. All your might. All your will. All your inner strength. All of your fortitude. You want that thing. Be it good health. Be it whatever. It is yours. Now, gratitude. Gratitude is so important to me. Gratitude is an emotion similar to appreciation. And within the word of gratitude is a sense of happiness and thanksgiving. I am so grateful. Often I'm just walking through the house and I'm just so grateful. Nobody there but me, I'm just so grateful. thankful. It's a high frequency. Thanksgiving and gratitude pushes you closer to the energy of the divine. That's where you want to be. A lot of people think that's weak. Oh, yeah, talk about that kind of stuff. That is strength. That is what strengthens your vision. Gratitude, thanksgiving, thanking the Creator before you have it in your hand. That means you trust the process. That means you know it's going to happen because you're saying thank you. In reality out here, when we say thank you, we have received the gift already. But in the spiritual realm, on the inner world, be grateful because it is already yours because you saw it in your mind. So when you saw it in your mind and you visualized it, you already saw it. It was yours. It was yours. It was already yours when you saw it in your mind. You captured it. So you must be grateful for it. You already have it. You get it twice. You get it once on the inner, and then you get it on the outer. So why not be grateful? Because you got it on the inner. Walk around saying, thank you. I received this already. I'm so grateful. Man, am I grateful. And then when it shows up, you don't have to show emotion. You just say, I am so grateful. Because you already done showed all that. You created that. Then you get on to the next thing you want. Gratitude. Gratitude in advance. And being thankful in advance as if you already have your desire now. That is such an important aspect, to be grateful. And if you can just be grateful every day for whatever you have, things that you take for granted, be grateful that you can walk.
That's right. Yeah.
You might have a little problem over here you're going to work on, but be grateful that you can think about it. Be grateful that you can change your mind about it. Be grateful. It's so many things to be grateful for. Be grateful for the water that you drink. I'm going to go back here when I was talking about eating and water. Water has a consciousness. Whenever I engage with water, be I'm drinking it, I'm taking a bath, I'm bathing, or I'm showering, I engage with the water. Now, I communicate with the water because the water has a consciousness. I, as all of us are 75 to 80% water. Why would I not be grateful and thankful for water? So the water that I drink, if it has a consciousness, when I pour it in a glass, I can speak to that water, and that's what that scientist said that wrote the book, The Power of Water. Emoto, yes. You speak to water, and water will receive that. So when I sit my glass of water down, I used to just say love, gratitude, things like that. Or now, I say water. Thank you for healing me. I love you, water. Let this love energy pour through every cell in my body. Thank you, water. I thank you. Let me radiate out the love that I am. Thank you, water. Push that through me. Thank you, water. And I drink my water. Because now I done connected with the real consciousness of water, and now I done poured the water into my body that done connected with all the fluids in my body. And I become what I say. Thank you, water, for your good health that you provide for me. 80%, that's who I am. We are powerful creators and manifestors, but nobody wants us to know this. Because when you're powerful, you're not controllable. Exactly. And people would love to control you. Exactly. So if you're a master of yourself, how can someone else master you? When you're the governor of yourself, do you need a government to govern you? You know who you are, and you know what you want, and you know what to do. You have your own internal moral standard. Govern yourself. Because you know when you think and speak highly frequency or high vibrancy words They're high. It brings you closer to the Creator. Closer and closer. And the closer you get, the better your life will be. And I'm not saying anyone has to go to a place. The place is in you. You can even operate with the feelings of love. Love is a manifester. The heart radiates love. There has been research that shows that the feelings of the heart have been measured. And that feeling of the heart can go miles outside of the body. This is not Linda talking, that's research. So therefore, if I sit here and I put my thoughts and my energy on my heart, and I speak something, and I'm thinking love, and I'm thinking about my manifestations, and I'm grateful, do you know that love will keep all the components of your desire together? It's the glue. It's the glue. It's a high frequency. It connects you with the Creator. God is nothing but pure, unadulterated love. The love energy that God radiates out, mankind cannot embody. It's too potent, you will implode. So you have to get the highest degree of love you can embody, and that will connect you to the divine. Then when your words go forth and you say, my life is in divine order and divine timing, you already know. You already know. You can't say anything higher than the divine. Divine order, that means everything. There's no chaos, there's no conflict. Divine timing, right on time. Everywhere you go, you'll be right on time. If you have a meeting and it's at 2 o'clock, guess what? If you get there at 2:15, they'll just start at 2:17. You'll be right on time. That's divine time, because we're living in what is considered linear time. That is man-made time. Man-made time is a construct. But if you can put your consciousness into God's time, which is eternal time, I put myself there. I love putting my consciousness into eternal time. If I'm in eternal time, I'm always in the now, but I can go back into the past and I can step into the future because I'm in God's time. But if I stay in man-made time, linear time, then it's a whole different story. It's a different ballgame, because my consciousness must operate in man's time because I put it there. When I was very young, I used to wonder how Jesus used to say, when I used to read the Bible all the time, and I used to always ponder and wonder, how in the world, and I asked my father, nobody could answer me, even the superintendent of my Sundays, nobody could answer me. I said, how could Jesus be here and there? Tamara was in those classes. She knows I'd ask those questions that'll make them do like this. And I wanted to know, I always wanted to know, how can Jesus be here and there? I'm right here. Nobody knew. Oh, you just asked too much. Oh, curiosity killed a cat. Oh. Then one day, and I must have been around 18, Spirit showed it to me. I was pondering that again. How could Jesus be here and there? Because wherever your consciousness is, you're there. Therefore, that's how distant healings happen. If I call you, or if I call you, and I'm thinking about you, you know about distant healing, Marianne. Look, distant healing, wherever my consciousness is, I am there. So, if I have a deal I want worked out, maybe I want to purchase something big, and I've been to the place where the people will be putting the contracts together. I put my consciousness there because I've been there, I know what it looks like, and I see them, and I sit there, and my consciousness is there, and I'm going to work my will that I get the best deal. Because wherever I am is there. So we ourselves must recognize who we are, and don't let this diminish once you leave here today. Build upon it. till your spirit and your soul rise up until its fullest stature. And when you say something, you will expect an outcome. And when you get to that point, you are working in divine order with the divine mind as a divine creator. It's up to us to be the best we can be. And we all have the potential because we have access to infinity through who we are. We have access to the divine, and we don't have to beg, because when you beg, you're really expressing that I don't have it. And when you beg, you don't get it. But when you say, I am rich, you become rich. Universal mind grabs that and brings it to you, sends it down. Whatever you say, I am, you'll have. If you say, I am supremely healthy, that's why in the Bible it says, the sick should say, I am well. The brokenhearted should say, I am whole. That's me talking. Whatever it is, you say the opposite of that. There's polarity in every thought. The pendulum swings both ways. Whatever you say, there's a strong opposite at the opposite end. That's where you go. Wherever you figure your problem is, you go to the opposite of that polarity. And you say it. And guess what? If you believe it, you speak it, you will have it.